Orange, California, the big city, a place where pledges from around the world come to prove their manhood. My name is Max, and I'm one of those pledges. As part of my rite of passage, I'm here to find out who my big is and why he has tormented me so heinously. Buckle up, men, because it's going to be a wild ride. Of the 57 members of Delta Tau Delta, only 11 of them are taking it big. Out of these 11, I was able to narrow it down to 3 potential suspects: Fabian Respicio, Billy Pruitt, and Johnny Jakubowski. Now, these might look like some handsome and well-endowed men, but one of them is hiding something. One of these guys is my big, and he thinks I won't be able to figure it out. Well, he is dead wrong. I had no real hints as to who else it could be. Any of these 3 could be my big. So to help out, I talked to a pledge with a history of committing and solving crimes.
I think my big is Billy, and I think these are the best evidence I have to believe that, because I have to read all of these books, and I know Billy likes books. This is my leading amount of evidence.
Billy Pruitt, suspect 3. I initially suspected him as my big because I got a riddle on my first day that I couldn't solve. He claims to do a lot of reading and writing, so it seemed like a possibility. But then again, my big has committed terrible spelling and grammatical errors that Billy would not do. But maybe that's what he wants me to think? I entered his less than humble abode to see if he'd give anything away, and what I found was concerning. He could not solve my easy riddles. How many months have 28 days?
1.
They all have 28 days.
That's true. You got me.
Not only that, but he was lying through his teeth. You claim to have a girlfriend, but she goes to another school. Is this true that you have a girlfriend?
I do have a girlfriend, yes.
Okay. With no conclusion on Billy, I talked to 2 other pledges who worked on weird mind games for their bigs. Could this be my breakthrough?
Right now, I think my big is Fabian. When he gave me my second clue, it was like a little riddle. And I guess the answer was Hawaii, because the lines were like, I'm surrounded by water, but I won't drown. I have my own time, but I'm not a watch. That type of thing.
I think my big is Johnny Jakubowski, and this is because he is the VP of academics, and he wants to make sure I'm on my shit. So he had me write an essay when I was booked all day.
Now, Bullock got a riddle too, and Lester got an essay. It's very interesting, but I needed to go deeper than that. On my first day of Clue Week, I was given a giant container of cheese balls and drank the 4 tequila seltzers inside, right before New Mem. Not only that, but my big posted a photo of me dripped out in my Candylands. So I thought to myself, if I could give these bigs these 2 items and see their reactions, maybe I could figure out who it was?
I have seen these in stores. I am not a fan myself. These are cheese balls.
Looks like a half-eaten barrel of cheese balls, off-brand.
Market Pantry Cheddar Cheese Ball Corn Snacks. I believe you can find them at Target.
Target? Is that where you've seen them before?
I've had them.
You like them?
Love them. I finished this.
Do you see that? Notice how much he knew about the cheese balls? Even admitted to having buying them before. He even got so embarrassed that he nodded his head to no one to avoid the situation. Next, I asked about the famed Candylands, which Fabian also knew a lot about.
Basketball short from the company Reebok.
Seeing very, very ugly shoes.
Well, I'm seeing some shoes, and they look pretty damn colorful. And first thing that came to mind was McDonald's for some reason. Like, the retro Ronald McDonald's like statues they have there in the Funlands.
Now, if you take a closer look, you'll notice Johnny had a very rehearsed answer to this question. Notice how his facial expressions stayed the exact same throughout? When you see something cool, you react. It's literally physics. He also dodged my question of if he had ever seen them before. You can also see that he had a lot of alcohol behind him, which I can only assume that he drank before talking to me so he could lie more easily. Johnny is definitely hiding something. So my brain is still pretty scattered. Out of these three, it could be any of them. I asked the pledges who they thought it was.
When it comes to screenshot, I want to say that his big is also Johnny.
If I had to guess, I'd say Johnny, purely because I think Mac has Fabian.
Careful analysis, I think your big is most definitely Fabian, without a doubt.
Okay, so that didn't help. I was stumped. I literally had no idea who it could be. So I went to the only person that might be able to crack the case. My last resort.
Supreme Ton Don. Listen to what I say. I look into the camera like I'm Jim Halper. Silence is bliss. Until the goats start crying.
But that didn't help either. At this point, I gave up on trying to get them to tell me when sober, so I went to library and tried to get it out of them when they were drunk.
My Lil's a freshman. You're so hot, so take off all your clothes. I am.
Who's Max Cartman's big?
Yvonne.
Who's Max Cartman's big?
If I tell you, I gotta kill you.
Get the fuck out of here.
I was kicked out of library yet again, but this did not deter me. On our walk home, I tried to see if the Pledge Bros could help out, but yet again, they could not.
I can't sprint.
Yo!
Hey, wait. Oh, no. To the patriarchy. He's saying the. Oh, fuck! Oh my god, bro. This is Mac Nelson with the Consent Crew.
Injured. We would have had the same wall.
Look at Jelly's story.
When that didn't work either, I thought I was done. I analyzed all the footage to see if I had missed something, and I actually did.
Silence is bliss. Until the goats start crying.
Silence is bliss until the goats start crying. Now, I know that sounds like something Yvonne just made up on the spot, but he's sending me a message. Obviously referring to myself as the goat, and the silence of not knowing who my big is. So all I had to do was make myself cry. I decided to call the girl who broke my heart and taught me how to make sweet, passionate, erotic love, but she didn't answer. My last resort? The only thing in the world that makes me cry? Shotgunning. And that's when it hit me. It was Fabian all along, and I can say that with 1,000% certainty. He knew too much about the cheese balls, he had seen the Candylands, and he didn't ask me any questions about the interview that I was doing. It was as if he knew the whole time. As for Johnny, I really don't think he's that good of an actor to be able to keep a straight face when seeing the Candylands. Good job, actives. This week has really taught me to never trust anyone ever again.